Today is an incredible day, boys. We've finally gone and done it. We've only got and built Vasiliac Priest on. Why is this such a big day? Because this guy is one of those champs that can just solo the crap out of a bunch of dungeons. And so I thought today would be a sweet all day man to showcase all of the champions on my account that I've built specifically for basically soloing certain bosses in the game, which is an awesome thing to have. Helps out a hell of a lot, man, with leveling food champions. It helps out a hell of a lot in Cursed City, right? Instead of getting stuck on certain bosses, you can just plow right on through and you can look out to build these champions yourself if you are so inclined in the future. Before we do, man, promo link alert. Make sure that if you're ever looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, that you turn to my beginner promo link, which you can find down below at the top of the video description box, man. If you're looking to make a new account, a new free-to-play adventure or something like that, then go ahead and click on the link down below right now. Use that link to create a new raid account, man, to grab Elnoril, free legendary HP burner and poisoner as your starter legendary champ. Can help you out a hell of a lot, even unbooked into early game Demon Lord clan boss. Whole bunch of epic champs as well also come along with that promo link as you level up your account, man. This right here is the webpage that's going to pop on up when you click that link. Use this page to create your new account, and as soon as you're done with the in-game tutorial, Elnoril will pop up like so in your new account's inbox, man. Amazing stuff. Okay, let's do this, man. I'm just going to go ahead and take out Vasiliac Priest on a test run. I've never actually tried him out before just yet, and so let's throw him into Ice Golem's Peak. Let's go for stage 20 for starters, and I'm literally just going to throw him in here with no instructions, bunch of food champions, and let's just see how he does, man. So, the reason why this is so good, right, why it's great to build champions like this, and like the Vasiliac Priest on, who are built out in regeneration sets, and I'm going to go into the build that I've got on the guy just after this, is that, yeah, you can be farming dungeon tournaments with one champion on the team that's able to kill off, hypothetically at least, and hopefully, all of the waves of enemies, take care of the boss, solo the entire dungeon, while also leveling food champions at the same time. In fact, we just had a CVC, man, where there was a Dungeon Divers, a champion training event, and a CVC active all at the same stinking time, right? If I'd had this on built and ready during the last CVC that just ended, I could have been triple dipping into like a huge amount of events all at the same time, and it would have been absolutely ridiculous value, right? Leveling food champs while also farming tournaments at the same time, you know? Crazy as hell. And which, you know, it looks like this wave is not going to be a problem for us at all. Of course, the reason why Vasiliac Priest on is so good for this job is because of his AoE on his A3. Applies 2 sets of poisons and poison sensitivity to all enemies in like a huge AoE. Makes him very good against the waves, as you can see. It's not quick, but it doesn't have to be, you know? And sweet, onto the boss itself, man, onto the boss itself. This is where the real test comes in, because we're going to start getting heal reduction debuffs on the Ornn as well, so his regeneration gear isn't going to be healing until those buffs start to drop off and expire, so he's got to get the left side ad dead before he can start healing again. So it might get a little bit tight here, but let's see if we can pull it off. Ornn is also uniquely good at soloing dungeons like this. He's not the only champion that can tackle Ice Golem and Dragon and stuff like that, but he's uniquely good at the job because of his passive as well. He basically gets stacking HP percent and defense percent, stacking up to a bonus of 25% throughout the dungeon. Which is really good. And I tell you what, man, once the ads are dead like this, because the boss takes so much poison damage as well, like if the boss drops below a certain percentage of health, the boss would normally counterattack. However, if the boss drops below those health percentages from poison or HP burn damage, it just doesn't trigger the counterattack from the Ice Golem boss, which is also lovely. Boss goes down. Happy little legendary helmet, man, and all kinds of, which we're just going to sell instantly, and all kinds of experience, man, for a bunch of food champions, just for free. This is how I have the Vasiliac Priest on built on out. He's got like 93,000 health, which might be a little bit overkill, to be honest. I probably could have went a little bit more into defense. I've even got like just a random stone skin amulet on the Ornn as well, just because it gives a little bit of extra HP percentage, you know, as like one of the accessories. He's running at about like, what, 210 speed. Another thing worth pointing out, man, is his masteries as well. So his masteries, I've actually gone ahead and went heavy into the support tree. This is just a build that's specifically geared towards making it easier to build a solo, like dungeon soloing Ornn, because you go all the way down into the oppressor support mastery. Increased turn meter fill rate by 2.5% for each active debuff cast by this champion, stacking up at 10%. Faster turns just means more healing from your regeneration gear and from your immortal gear, and so that's what the Ornn's all about, man. He's able to do the job. What a god. Testing him out into Dragon just now. I'm actually going to try him out into stage 24 Dragon, just to see if he can do it, right? Just more curious than anything. I think the waves in Dragon are a little bit easier than the waves in golem because you don't get the stuns on the second wave of ads. Of enemies. Ooh, but they do have a spirit also that removes and places block buffs, so maybe he doesn't quite have enough to take on stage 24 dragon, man. Oh my god. Never mind, he's actually doing it. He's actually doing it, boys. Damn. Actually just full health by the time we go into the second wave. Okay, man. I mean, it's all coming together. Not bad. Maybe he can actually do this. Well, here we go, man. We're up against the boss. Get those poisons in, that poison sense up straight away. He also places more poisons with the double hitter A1 as well. I mean, once we're at the boss, it's easy, right? Yeah, like the waves are like the hard part, man. Look at how fast the boss is actually melting here, bro. It's kind of crazy as hell, man, how quickly he's able to kill off the boss completely solo, man. I tell you what, though, the second wave was really, really tough. He nearly died a couple times. Stage 24, with the gear that I've got, could be improved a bit. Some awakening stars on the guy as well, some red stars on the guy. Could make stage 24 doable more easily, but the lower stages certainly shouldn't be a problem, man. Good stuff. Oh my god, I can't believe the poison damage against the boss, man. Dragon gets so wrecked, man, by poison, and look at all the free experience coming in on the food champions as well. That's what I'm talking about, man. Basilisk Priest on. Ooh, feels good to have that guy finally built. Will say as well that you cannot be ignoring regeneration gear on your account. I've kind of lost count of the amount of account takeovers that I've done and stuff where I've been looking for, okay, man, we can make this build, that build. I want to build out like a solo carry champion for this person's account that I'm working on. And they've just been selling all of their regeneration gear. Like, bro, you gotta hold on to regeneration pieces, man. Defense percent on gloves and chests is fine. You're really looking for HP percent, just as much HP percent and speed as possible on your regeneration gear. Bit of accuracy rolls every now and again are fine too, I suppose, depending on the champ, but that's the kind of regeneration gear that you're looking for. Hold on to it, man, so that you can build champions like this, and like Lady Annabelle, who's also another integral solo champion on my account, because Lady Annabelle, she's not just like a luxury build, she's like required on my account for getting through Dreadhorn Bommal. Dreadhorn Bommal is such a pain of a boss, man. This guy's a son of a gun. He pops up in Cursed City all over the place, can just completely ruin your day. Here he is, actually. I've been saving this kill for this very video right here. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and throw everybody out of this team and just throw Lady Annabelle in completely solo against the Bommal. And Lady Annabelle is a champion that I built on out because of her passive. Heals this champion by 50% of the max HP whenever an ally or an enemy dies. Why is this so good against Bommal? Bommal is such a pain, bro. He's so hard to like beat with like a full team of champions, like put a team together to take on Bommal, when you can just build Lady Annabelle and sort of take care of business against Bommal and just get him down. It's such a luxury, man. Why is it so good? Because of that. Those bombs, when they explode, deal 40% of your champion's health as damage to those champs. If 3 bombs go off like that, it's basically impossible for any champion in the game to survive unless you've got like an unkillable buff, or you've got a champion like Lady Annabelle that can take care of business, right? Those bombs, when they explode, count as enemy champions, right? And so when they explode and deal 40% health damage to Lady Annabelle, she heals for 50% health damage, right? Because her passive triggers and it's got no cooldown, so she can just outlive the bombs forever. So as long as you can build enough regeneration gear and like good speed and stuff on your Annabelle to outlive the boss's other damage, like his basic attacks and stuff like that, then the bombs take care of themselves and Annabelle will take care of business. Now, the only caveat with this is that you do need to farm up full masteries on Lady Annabelle to get her War Master mastery, right? Which gives her a chance of just dealing a big block of damage with every one of her hits. That's going to be integral for killing higher difficulties of Dreadhorn Bommal. You can kill the hardest difficulties of Dreadhorn Bommal in the game, like max difficulty, hard mode Doom Tower, Dreadhorn Bommal, no problem, but you need the masteries for the extra damage, otherwise you will literally run out of turns to kill the boss. Like, you'll hit the turn count limit of like 1500 or whatever the hell it is, and the fight will time out and it will count as a defeat. So you do need to have masteries to land that extra damage to make sure you're getting the fight done in time. But the only limiting factor besides that with Lady Annabelle is speed and HP percent stats on just good regeneration gear, and as you improve your gear, harder and harder difficulties of bomb will become absolutely soloable. This champion, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know what the hell I would have done in the early game against bommal if I didn't have this champ on my account, man. She's an absolute godsend, as you can see. Next champion that we're going to touch on is, of course, Mithrala, man. Mithrala shows up on basically everybody's account so long as you play long enough and are at least farming the first chest on normal mode Hydra. And so she can take a little bit of time to get, depending on what your pulls are like and stuff in the early game and how quickly you can get started in Hydra, but everybody's going to get her. Sweet. How do I use Mithrala as a solo champion? Well, it all comes down to her A1, to be honest. She attacks in 2 times at random, each hit with a 100% chance buck to placing strong poison debuff for a couple of turns. She's also pretty damn useful into other areas of the game as well, but specifically the boss that I use her to solo because of her passive, which reads just at the bottom here, increase this champion's resistance by the amount by which it is the amount by which it is increased is equal to the amount of accuracy this champion has. So I've got built with like 600 accuracy so that she has like crazy high resistance stats as well, or at least, you know, that's high for where my account is right now. I know there's probably people out there with like 800 accuracy Mithralas or something ridiculous, but that's where mine's at, you know? Use cases for a Mithrala solo, of course, going to be Scarab King, right? She's one of the best champions in the game for soloing Scarab King. You just switch her gear around whenever you want to use her in Scarab King, switch her gear around away from like perception and all of that stuff, get her in that regeneration set, immortal gear if you have to, throw her into Scarab King. It doesn't matter if she gets provoked every now and again, as long as she's got enough healing, just like Lady Annabelle, to survive against this boss and survive against the boss's damage. Her A1 poisons are going to completely circumvent the boss's pink HP life bar mechanic. Okay, just trust, she's one of the best champions in the game for soloing Scarab. She's not the only one that can do it. Hypothetically, there's a lot of champions in the game that can solo Scarab, but that's the first place that I use my Mithy. Another place that I use the Mithrala that I can show, because there's not currently a rotation of Scarab where I can actually show her in action, another place in the game where I use Mithrala is actually Phantom Shogun's Grove, which is an area of the game where honestly a lot of people just ignored for the longest time. You could get away with ignoring it for the longest time, and it wasn't that big of a difference maker to your account if you didn't put that much effort into farming Shoguns. Now there are Phantom Shogun's Grove tournaments, and so it's much more lucrative now, which makes much more sense to start building out a Phantom Shogun's team once you're at a place in your account where you're farming like stage 20 of all of the dungeons and all of that stuff, and you got some time to put towards actually doing this. But Mithrala is amazing into Phantom Shoguns because, well, she applies poisons on her A1, so lovely. She doesn't exactly solo this dungeon, but she makes up a sort of champion duo that makes the rest of the dungeon very, very easy. So the poisons on her A1 are going to help out with the boss kill speed, but she also places strengthen buff and shields on your tank for this dungeon, which is amazing for helping keep them alive. And she also brings increased defense buff as well, which is also amazing for keeping them alive. She brings basically all of the good, solid survivability buffs in the game, apart from like ally protect, you know, for keeping your squad alive and healthy. So amazing stuff. You can then combo your Mithrala with either a Renegade, rare champion who's pretty good for this role, or a Nalhorn. Then all you gotta do is build the Renegade or the Nalhorn in regeneration gear, right? And with the highest crit damage stats on your team, and they will always tank the boss's enfeeble mechanics, which I'm not going to turn this into like a Phantom Shogun's guide or something, but just believe me when I say that the backbone of the team here is the Renegade and the Mithrala. Everything else on the team is very, very interchangeable, right? I'm just running like a couple of just Mongo damage dealers, the Kale, the Ninja, whatever. The Mithrala's job is just to cleanse the buffs, right? She's speed tuned correctly to cleanse the debuffs, the decreased defense debuff that the boss will throw up every now and again. Her defensive buffs are going to help to keep the Renegade alive. And then we've just got like a random healer on the team that doesn't have to be a Godseeker in Eerie. It could be anything. It could be Rector Drath. It could be whatever the hell, you know, a bloody wood painted even in like reflex gear or something. Anything to just help keep the Renegade alive in this case. But the duo combo for this dungeon, like the backbone of the team, is really the Mithrala and the Renegade, or it could be Mithrala and Nalhorn. Could be a great option for this as well. And bam, stage 25. Bit of speed tuning involved. That's about it. I do have a guide again for Phantom Shoguns up on the channel that you can go ahead and check on out. And yeah, it covers this team in way more detail, as well as a couple of other team variants that you can build to get started in Shoguns, man. But I think that this team, the Mithrala Renegade combo, is one worth including in this video. And that naturally, at mention of Aniri, does actually bring us into the final team that I'm going to touch on, man. The Sand Devils Necropolis team, where I'm not farming stage 25 just yet, but that's fine, whatever. I'll just farm 24. it's fine. Realistically, I should probably work on that, man. But this is the team. It's basically Godseeker. As soon as you've got Godseeker Neri on your account, she's one of those ultra mega just giga game changer epic champs that is going to enable you to two-man and build like a duo team for beating Sand Devils all the way to the hardest difficulties. And once again, it's just another matter of just good enough regeneration gear on your Aniri. These are the stats that I have mine built out with. The speed of the Aniri has to be speed tuned just right and stuff. For Sand Devils, again, there's already a guide up on the channel for getting that done if you want to make this team. And then the damage dealer on the team can be any HP burn champion and can be any poison champion. Any max HP damage dealer champion can work just fine for getting the boss down, as long as these champs fall into a certain speed range as well. They also need a hell of a lot of accuracy, like 450 accuracy or something for stage 24. Like, you talk about like pretty reasonably high accuracy numbers. But once this team is speed tuned correctly, again, you can farm Sand Devils tournaments while also farming food champions at the same time. And as long as your Aniri has enough like good enough regeneration gear and is speed tuned correctly, this is what's going to happen, right? She's going to get one-shotted every few turns. Because of her passive, she revives herself, and then the first thing she does is revive the other strongest champion on your team, which is always going to be your damage dealer, as you can see right here, right? It's always going to be, in this case, my ninja, my HP burner, who's going to get up his debuffs, get up his HP burns while the boss is vulnerable, and then the cycle is just going to repeat over and over and over. Yeah, and this is the squad, right? And as long as the Aniri survives those two attacks that you just saw right there, she's going to have time for a passive to come back off of cooldown so that she can always pick herself back up. This is an amazing team to have. This is an absolute account changer, man. I mean, it's just nuts. It's why Godseeker is just so good. For me, at least as a new player, I always thought teams like this, it's just a luxury, you know, like you don't need it, but it must be nice, you know, to have like this luxury on your account of having, you know, like Godseeker and Neri being able to make a team like this. Whatever, you know, I hope I can do it one day as like a fun little project. No, man, like if you're a new player and you're thinking like that, like you're underestimating how good this is. Sand Devils is a pain to farm with any other team. It's a huge pain to build a team for Sand Devils, man. Aniri solves the dungeon, okay? She's that good, right? She's like the Lady Annabelle. Like how Lady Annabelle is for Dreadhorn Bommal, Aniri is basically like that for Sand Devils. You know, it makes it so that you just don't have to worry about Sand Devils ever again. It's just glorious, man. And alright, man, boss goes down. Just like that, the experience comes on in. Hypothetically, we'd be farming a tournament at the same time we're doing this. We actually hit on the big superior oils as well, which is just lovely. Just a little cherry on the top there. And yeah, that's how the team functions, right? And again, the ninja can just be any old damage dealer. It can be literally like a rare champion HP burner, like Selene Nightcloak, for example, you know? And there you have it, man. Every champion on my account that basically solos content, or at least contributes towards a duo for just, well, duoing your way through certain bosses and really form the backbone of these crazy solo teams, man, that can help so much in terms of efficiency on your account, man. It's really, really nice, man, to be able to just build out like one or two champions like this and take care of a boss instead of having to build up and level up an entire team. So if you've got any of these champions waiting in the wings, this is how you might want to use them. Let me know any champs that you've got on your account, by the way, that you use to solo crazy bosses like this, especially like Scarab and Bommal, right? These are bosses that give people a hell of a lot of headaches, you know. I pity the new players that are trying to take on Bommal for the first time without using one of these cheat code champs. I got so lucky getting Annabelle early on this main account, man. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you also enjoyed this one, man. If you did, make sure to like on the video and all that good stuff. And make sure that if you're looking to set up a new raid account, that you do so using my beginner link, which you can find down below at the top of the video description box, man. Hit that link, use it to create a new account, man, for the best start possible in raid. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later, man.